Welcome to episode 8 of the Power Redneck. This podcast is entitled Learning to Let Go. So when I started this podcast, I had the goal of, speaking about my past and my history in a hope of getting some closure, because I used to carry a lot of weight around on my back, a chip on my shoulder. When I was growing up and I was in foster care, I was looking at other families. Why can't I be like them? Normal middle class existence with no problems, no history of abuse, no, something to be deeply ashamed of, And then as I've gotten older, I'm 43 years old now, I've realised that there's no need to be ashamed. There's so many people that go through problems, abuse, suffering, trauma, and on the outside their lives may look perfect, but they're not. The perfection that I was striving for, it doesn't exist. And it was the only way to improve my life is to realize I am responsible for my own happiness. And I'm in counselling. I have a therapist. I don't really discuss much with her because I know it's hard. It's a painful thing to revisit, I think I could sue docs for negligence, but then I think, how much do I need to traumatize myself in order to do that? It would improve my financial situation, but what would it do to me, The main person responsible for my suffering is now deceased, has been deceased since 2012. And usually if you take a case to the courts and make accusations, if they're dead, it's a lot harder to prosecute. So you don't get closure anyway. You go through the whole trial or the whole court system, and in the end you don't get any resolution, and you just deal with that. So I'm at the stage in my life now where I will not tolerate being talked down to, being treated rudely, people thinking they're above me, and think they can say snide comments to me and realize that I wouldn't understand them, because for a long part of my life I was a people pleaser. I apologize for my existence. I didn't argue back. I didn't disagree with people. I just let them walk all over me. And what that did to my mental health, it gave me anxiety, it gave me depression, and it's not going to happen anymore. I'm not going to tolerate it. So this podcast was a way for me to have my voice and to be heard for a change, because so many people make assumptions and judgments about you. They don't know anything about your life whatsoever. And I have an Instagram. It's Blue Indigo 1980, and on that Instagram I show my life. I talk about my experiences. I show the happiness that I'm enjoying now because I have a family. I have a beautiful child, I have a husband, and I have a voice now. I'm not some stupid little wallflower that people can just walk all over and think they can treat me like rubbish and garbage, judge my parenting skills, judge my life, because I'm not tertiary educated. I'm sorry, that's not true. I am tertiary educated. I'm not university educated. I flunked out of year 12. I fell pregnant in my first job at a publishing company, and I was very ashamed. And looking back now, if I confided in my manager and said, look, I am pregnant, but I would love to continue to work here, who knows? It's just a lot of the stuff that was inflicted upon me in my life is self-inflicted, and there's no reason for me to be that way anymore. I have to, and happiness is a choice, and I fight the negativity every single day. I get up and sometimes I just have like a negative energy just hanging around. It does not want to go away. It's like holding on for dear life. It does not want to be let go of, but I am letting it go. And every day I will choose my happiness, my peace, my not a life of quiet desperation anymore. I'm a mother, and I'm trying my best. That's all I'm going to say. and people can say to me, oh, you're a mother now, make fun of me, oh, you've got a child, thinking that, I don't deserve to be a parent. I don't know, but I am trying my best. So I'm going to conclude this podcast. I will probably make another one in the future, but not about my history and my trauma and the docs file, because it's 1,000 pages long and I don't think I really need to cover that. So maybe one day I'll go to a lawyer. I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, as I said, the person who perpetrated most of the abuse is dead. So is it going to matter? Is it going to have any resolution? I don't know. Thank you very much for listening to my podcast, and this is the final episode. Thank you very much. Goodbye.